Money.
Besides the translations, there's one more thing that makes me a little nervous, and that's how my expenses for the game are kind of starting to spiral out of control. My estimate is that the total cost of making the game will be at least 20,000 bucks. The majority of those costs are once again for translations, cause I hired a localization company to create and proofread some of the missing translations, but there are also legal expenses, software licenses, marketing costs like paying the shelf man who edits most of my YouTube videos at the moment, so I have more time to work on the game, soundtrack vocals, Steam fees. I still live with my dad where my living expenses are relatively low, but 20,000 bucks is still a lot of money for me.
It's a lot, yeah.
Islanders did well and created a nice financial buffer, but 20k is still about twice the money I've made from this YouTube channel since I started it 3.5 years ago.
Holy shit, he's made $12,000 euros only.
Not working a normal job. So if I just assume a somewhat average salary in Germany, that's about another 85,000 I missed out on. That means my total time and resources invested for You Snail equal about 105,000 bucks.
Oh god. Imagine what I miss out on. I've been working on the game for like 2 years almost. Oh god, look at all the money I could have gotten, man. Oh. It's probably over 100,000 at this point, minimum. It's almost 2 years. Oh god. But it's okay because we are making a game, right, boys? We are making a game and we are following our dream. We don't put the dream pays much more than the money we could have earned, right? But that's like a huge thing, right? When you're being a solo developer, you obviously wanna earn the money too, but you wanna follow your dream, you wanna make your game, right? But how you do that? How do you do that? Game is, you either have a game or you can sell it, but for a long time there is no game. There's like this empty void of, oh my god, what do I do, right? Translation disaster.
That's why surviving as an indie developer is so hard. Oh no. I literally need to make 105,000 bucks with You Snail just to make an average salary.
Step 1, get rich girlfriend.
I don't know how realistic that is. You know what I mean? And by the way, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I'm entitled to an average salary or something like that. I'm making games because I love making games. The reason I'm doing these calculations is because in the long run, I would love to support a family off of all of this.
Yeah, same.
Somebody who
People that think you could get rich off Gamedev have not been paying attention. Yeah, because you have to invest a ginormous amount of time before you even get to like this payday, and the payday might not even be what you think it will be, you know. It's very uncertain.
Trying to share something interesting with you here. Let's run the math a little further, right? Let's say the game will cost 15 bucks. Most people will probably buy it when it's on a discount though. So let's say the average price will be more like 13 bucks. Now let's deduct 5% refunds, 30% from Steam's card, and 50% taxes. That means my profit per game sold could be something like 4.3 bucks. 105,000 divided by 4.3 is 24,418. That means I have to sell 24,000 copies to break even on my work.
50%, well, about 40%, yeah.
Go wishlist
Germany.
You Snail on Steam right now. It's a beautiful game, and wishlisting is 100% free. If you wishlist, you will get notified on launch when the game comes out, as well as about every day.
So we're talking about the translation disaster. This is what happened to him, so that's why he had to pay so much money. Let's look at that real quick. I'm under the water.
Translations for You Snail are a big fat yikes. At the moment, the game has exactly 19,221 words or 106,816 characters.
Just want to ask a quick question. It's a platformer. How is that possible? Unless it's a story-driven game. Like Celeste had a lot of text. True. But in the end, like, it's a platformer, right?
It's roughly 1,000 voice lines for Squid and 600 lines of dialogue for the Springs. And that's not even counting the store page and the achievements, which obviously need to be translated as well. Luckily for me, a lot of you reached out telling me that you want to support me with the translations for the game. I was more than grateful for that.
Oh, they want to support you. Oh, I can see what's going to happen now. Yikes, yikes.
Insane translation journey started. One massive Google Sheets file, 200 translators, and over 50 different languages. It was absolute insanity how many translations you contributed to the project. We even managed to get translations for Arabic, Danish, Persian, some languages I haven't even heard of before. But then it happened, disaster struck. As this entire game project was slowly approaching its end, I brought a lawyer on board to cover all of the remaining legal questions before launch, privacy policy, whether I can use the name Squid in my game if somebody else already used it, and you guessed it, copyright. And that's when I noticed that I just completely messed up. Just because you voluntarily made these translations for me doesn't mean that I own them. The copyright always belongs to the person who made it. So it turned out that if I wanted to use any of your translations, I would have to sign a licensing agreement with whoever made them. So in short, thousands of translations suddenly became absolutely useless unless I could get 200 random community translators from the internet to sign a dubious licensing agreement that even needs to contain their full name and address. And to make matters even worse for underage translators,
this is probably Germany. He's German. This is probably Germany. How are you doing today, old man? I'm not old. I'm young. And kicking. I'm doing good. How about you, bro? This is probably Germany, though. Cakez, I can do the German translation for you, or are you going to sign this letter as well? With, you know, your translator name? And maybe even your father and mother?
Both parents have to sign it as well. In my opinion...
Oh my god. Both parents have to sign it as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that, man. What the fuck, bro? Oh, if he's below 18. If he's below 18. Okay. Goodness.
Parents have to sign it as well. In my opinion, that makes sense, of course. I'm just saying I didn't make it easy for translators at all. But Jonas, is all of that really necessary? I mean, yeah, technically not, but you're putting yourself at risk of being sued, and we don't like that here. Sorry. So what was the result? About 50 out of the 200 translators signed the agreement, which to be honest was more than I expected after I completely blindsided everybody with that. And then we started a completely new blank translation sheet and started the entire process from scratch. Now I have an entire freaking folder just filled with licensing agreements. The paperwork and organization of this literally set me back several weeks. Hundreds of translators.
I hope I don't have to do that much.
All of that just because I did not worry about the legal implications of all of this earlier on. Translators, I said it before, but I'll say it here again. This is my mistake. I screwed up. I'm extremely sorry. I hope I learned my lesson, and this won't happen again. I know what some of you might be thinking. Can you not just copy some of the translations from the old sheet to the new one? And yes, that is possible. But only if we're 100% sure that all of the translators that contributed to the translation signed the agreement. So yes.
Oh, so his problem was they had translations, but some of them were for different people. I see.
To recover as much of the translation work from signed translators as
because there could be, like, out of the 200 people, there could be like one person where it's like, oh, fuck you. I hate what you did or whatever. And then they get buttered and they're like, they sue you.
But
which, you know, like how reasonable is that happens, right?
That also comes with its very own logistical
Give you my money,
challenges.
bitch, yeah.
Thanks to the edit history, we can still check fairly accurately which users contributed to which translations. But to do that, you'd have to manually click on several thousand cells. Together with Cetas from the You Snail Discord, we found a somewhat acceptable process using a macro recorder. Now there's a computer program checking every single cell for who contributed to the translation. But it's still super slow and a massive pain in the butt. So yeah, not too sure what to do about that, honestly. Let me know if you have any ideas. So the end result of all of this, hundreds of work hours were wasted, both mine as well as from translators. We ended up with a lot less translations than we used to have, and we're legally covered and can't be sued.
50% is still a lot. 50 translations is still a lot.
Copyright infringement anymore. Wow, yeah, that's great. Totally worth it. A small victory. The lessons this taught me: worry about legal implications of everything you do earlier on. Don't make games with a lot of text. Don't translate your game into 50 languages before it's even out yet. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. By the way, if you still want to help with the translations after everything you've just heard, or you just want to stay in the loop with the development, join the You Snail Discord. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. Besides the translation,
we watched the money part already. Damn. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. I support 15 languages in Pogo. Might be worth. Might be worth it, but if it's too big of a hassle when you update your game, so I'll only support 9 languages for all future games. Just make an option to load custom language files and let the community make them. Oh, like mods? Yeah, perfect, Zeri. That's exactly. Endless languages is going to be my feature then.
We saw you literally
going to put it in a list. You just have to supply your own text file. True. Very true. Endless, yeah.